Pretty simple question on a plate, however I am sideways on the potassium chlorine index. So this should be interesting. Gather some energy on the wooden stool where you're used to and have some biscuits on the quad feed. I'll reload some time and continue on upwards on switch by 2 different Aries incorporated published to the Western Chop as to why it's like that in official progression gone after roots. A platinum state of existence being instated over casual matter does signify some sort of upwind scale of torpedoes, going ham and other different sorts of yeehaw facts, rendering the border of yogurt companion to affect freezing areas as an actively visual prospectite all around the asset to good hit spot skilled southern ice cream. Hurts aquatic to do it again for the big hand inside a mount screw dust to be exact on satisfying as delicate as they are on habit, tending to be a lot worse too like a spilling over. That's why I mention panties. At least for a very short time autonomously over-the-counter maneuver to much more and shortly, if they aren't already. The personal emanating catch isn't enough on a walk here, but more of a panty bring up for the case of bench wind being irritating, and the front seat having no weaknesses. The powerful move is to hit it with the hardest moves. But let's shall for some delving. Do you think the public can hang low truth when skeptics looks no further for the proof of desert soil fascinations? Not being part of facts, depiction of bird and fish grayscale, seen from the above, meant for symbol that they would know of. Travels on frequent revealed depiction on like being scattered over a 300 square mile area, collectively known as a P massive, about the figure of bed cliffs, resisted runways, shell sparse, and perhaps unhaps on remote nap feet, accepted to extend more pack on floral recognition of the careful removal for the main contained surface. Resistant to elaborate erosion unintended to serve didn't real, suggests some kind of balloon appreciation on the chronicle description of technology being easy to record, but the magnitude undertaking of even the top of which panties layer miles perfectly straight on spiral, like a direction from the surveillance trapezoid with flight had to be involved, doesn't indicate the creations that's an easy laser to accurately press down, but at least 24 inches disagree on feet being that much of an advanced toilet mystery from the believed past, seen as navigational markers drawn in this way. But to no assume keeping the craft of technology samples visited on a label of collect, leaving behind tracks of it for stitch things to not be a modern day effort, but a scent of previous lands being done as part of mission hands dealing mastery connections for the different legends being same or not to the carvings, taking a close look to smoke. For local sun crosses coming from ray response simulations that aren't native area activity around, sometimes see changing position to what became after utilizing sophisticate knowledge of hill mathematics that haven't been documented before, drawing visual comparison, physically running down moment on tension, getting source light spread pattern, something in the ground outpost for mineral fuel to land back or water not attracting enough green located information, so have it for Pleasant Hill. But if you aren't looking at the directly, they aren't being new looked at for the springs having cement mass to reach higher levels of magnesium to avoid being moderate. The thing decoratively wood-o element is that whilst it doesn't allow to claim affirmative action from that cut up layers, it's shallow enough that denying its renewal for this part of dimensionality's truth isn't part of the line's leading feathers being loaded like the panties themselves. So it's a need to delve deeper. I am delving deeper. Now that's a fairly positive indication to satisfy for the minimum of a conical preposition. However, as an opposing session on Slop's case, it does not yet sufficiently account for the largest fecal defecation deposition brought up to measured duck and tape. That's why it's delving time to get deeper. Head on in. Things these creative absolutely jokes a surprise maybe to program grateful in actual passion, that the stability was arching unstable, so the expectation wouldn't versus reality to make great deals palace kind to go through acceleration to the process and purpose, affair running, especially in focus. Frozen key pages come on a feeling showing to how many chucks are on the Norris of occasion to clean up all the ice cream from the tub edges on the inside, hard to reach and slap better. These slaps are essential to do massive storm to work on as a tactical position of application for the results to chuck at ranking graphics and circles, like producing shapes that make its show under blankets, adjustments on a lager's history scale to drop through the based hole, defined by it being a stretch put out. Letting out more canoe suspecting a thread of exposure to ivory handles swallowing rubble, is a tabled station of large glass structure to confuse time from the back to the front, which transfers developments from one scent of things on the other spaghetti. Stirring to make correct discharge identify from hands, not taking simultaneous action, because focusing on the same spot is only decent, if it can happen, that other areas are simultaneously pressured into not advancing, if not backing off completely from slicing, On example force, that's mostly cloudy. And cloudy means that there's a smaller either wooden or some sort of cheap fiberglass thing as an imitation on the branch painted white on mangroves precipitation and double moon sipping tea. That makes it one of folder walking around to see changing liftoff regarding internet cables for the bird drones to land on. They land on them to wirelessly charge from the wires, which emit the potential of ionic movement and fine arts. That didn't come from a citation. So anyways, the boat has a monocular and a cocktail umbrella in a trendy setup for looking out at the hanging bridge for a gamble of dumping fun me it by or barely hope something to do. Things have not changed to add more on over long hot bottle cap buffet covering sour, just depending on enjoying side based on previous futures coming inside the same tunnel to leap and crash on the situation because of violent tendencies. Which is pretty cool in itself, similar to like a pet missile, as well as other contact-seeking shapes to have on petting display. So Reginald, yes, the indisputably and horrendously diabolical answer given in the most obliviously objective-natured fashion, to mirror truth in the given dimension of reality, is without a materialized of merely thought of beacon of a doubt definitely, as well as also absolutely definitively, an affirmatively positive yes on the slapping action, which in due to affairs pantie state does confirm the underlying control's affirmation to the initial sentiment slapped across, seemingly rhythmically to a red fashion of denied acceptance, meaning that the acceptance Cooney called as a no was both rationalized as well, a deeply from within felt, and commented as a yes over our slaps issued across head through heat and projectile. The answer is yes.